Good evening, everybody. I figured I'd come on and do a live. It's my first day off from with my 3 days off. I'm going to attempt to do Paint with Josh painting. He did an American flag that just amazed me. I just hope I get somewhat close because it is just a beautiful painting. If you ever get a chance, go see Paint with Josh. He's a very good teacher. He's very funny. He's very easy to listen to. So I'm just coming on here to play around a little bit with some paint. I kind of enjoy the heck out of this. So I normally already have my colors on, but I figured this time I'm just gonna start throwing them on. So you can see I got a black canvas. I'm gonna start throwing some colors on there, but you're not really gonna see them at first. Let's see what happens, and if anybody comes on tonight, I really appreciate it. I know it's not the normal times, and now that I got a new schedule, it's kind of hard to get everybody to come on. And just like, comment, and share after you see the video. It'd be much appreciated. The more likes I get, the more people that'll be willing to follow or even check it out. Appreciate it. All right. Any American flag, you got to put some nice, beautiful blue in it. We're going to do that right in here. Kind of guesstimating where I'm going to put it. And blue is very, very strong. Kind of ironic part of doing this is the fact that you can't really see where the heck you put it. You know, I really like blue, so we're just going to put a lot of blue in there. And we're going to hope that I don't put too many colors in here that end up blowing my chance of getting my full effect of what I want to do. And I'm pretty sure he used crimson, but I'm not positive. It could be some red. We're going to start out with crimson, and hopefully that'll be the main ticket. Let's see here, put the crimson on here, get it loaded up. I think I started them right here. We're going to take it and put in a stripe. Put in a stripe. And put a little bit more on here, and then I come in and we're going to put another stripe. Hopefully didn't pull too much blue into that. Now we're going to put in another stripe. Where should I put that stripe? We'll put it right here. Ooh, these stripes are getting kind of wide. We'll see what happens. All right. I think we're going to just put some crimson down in here. Hopefully I wiped off enough of the liquid clear, because that stuff likes to run, and if you can't paint it fast enough, you start getting some run marks in there, and then you start crying. Sometimes I used to cry a lot because you spray and you put in your stars, and all of a sudden they're running. Now they look like snowflakes. But hey, happy mistakes. There's never really a mistake when you're painting, you know. All right, we got some color on there, and I'm hoping it's blue. That's all I can say. I'm hoping it's blue. Hope we got the red color right. We'll find out here in a moment. Clean this brush off just in case I need to get him to do some softening. Get some softening going on here. It kind of sucks not having my daughter here because she reads comments, but it looks like we're kind of empty right now, which is fine. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Now I feel like I'm talking to myself. All right. We're gonna start putting some clouds in here. Yeah, well, you know what? You know what? Let's try to get the stripes in first. Let's try that first. I'm not sure exactly how we're gonna do it, but this is kind of like I'm thinking is how we're gonna do it. You know, start with a white. Hey, that kind of looks about right. Yeah. It might be that color after all. That's kind of cool. But it kind of might have got a little bit too bright. So I'm just going to leave the paint that I have in my brush. To do the next one, we'll see what happens. This guy's so inspiring, I'm telling you, it is fun to watch. Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, unfortunately, when you buy the cheaper canvases, you end up running into problems where your canvas moves and you end up seeing your backbone of your canvas. Hopefully this one won't be that bad. I'm just gonna keep this one a little bit. Better brighten them up just a little bit, I think, because it's kind of almost too dark. All right, go like that. I think we got a little bit of a flag starting there. Looks like it might be the right colors. You know, I kind of really want to put in some, get my, you know, I think we'll try to do it. Like I said, this is a poke and a hope. I'm guessing on how we did it. I got the colors on here. I think it might be kind of how it was done. I don't know. We're going to be kind of curious. I'm going to try to feather these a little bit so it's not so. Get rid of all my little strokes that I put in there, you know. Soften them up a little bit. All right. That looks like that might have dampened them down a little bit. All right. Now I think we're going to start putting in some clouds. You don't want to take up too much of the colors. You know, if you want to bring it up into the red a little bit, it kind of looks cool. kind of did a little bit of fluff in there. Okay, let's see if we can keep this trend going. It's kind of looking similar, I guess. You know, every painting always turns out a little bit different. I'm going to try to put a little bit more happy clouds in here. Take it into the red a little bit. And take it into the blue, because then we know, hey, guess what? That's blue. That's the flag. Oh, and then I bring a little bit of blue in there by accident. That's kind of cool. All right, now we're going to go back and we're going to fluff them up a little bit. Went into a little bit into the red. Yeah, that kind of looks cool. That kind of looks cool. I like it. I like it. All right. Now here's where we get to have some more fun. We're going to put in some more. I don't know. Does that look red? It kind of looks like red in there, right? Kind of wondering if I should put a little bit more crimson in there, but. You know, I don't think so. I think we're just going to go with the flow like we're doing right now. Yeah, I figured I'd come on here and do a live tonight early, because then I can get a chance to check out my Minnesota Wild. You know, they're not looking very good, of course, but not looking the greatest. Oh, look at that, look at that. Okay, now we're popping the blue. Popping the blue. Like it, I like it, I like it. Oh yeah. Now we kind of know that there's a flag in there. No, there's a flag in there. So far as, oh, I need to, you know, I need to go a little bit heavier. But I think I might have put a little bit, well, you know what, that might not be too bad. I might have put a little bit too, the crimson in a little bit. A little bit too early. I think that's going to look fairly cool. Lightly touch it, very lightly. You know, just get the clouds just so like they soften up a little bit. They don't look so bleh. You know, we don't like bleh. That kind of messes things up. So now if you look over by, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but if you slowly look over and you see it on here, it's kind of, you can see where my liquid clear here might be a little bit too heavy. That kind of has a tendency to want to run. So hopefully I can get my ocean part in here without too much hassle. I mean, the way it's looking right now, I can almost just frickin', you know, put it just a clear focus, but I kind of want to put in a little bit of a wave. Which actually, when you're a painter, you can pretty much, hey, do what you want. A lot of times we get started and we don't know what we're doing. You know, I could use this sky right here and I can turn around and put, you know, hey, I'm going to put pine trees in. This is just what the sky looked like that day. But of course, we know it would take a lot to get that to happen. I could probably pull the red into here a little bit more so it wouldn't look like it was so, you know, crisp. Which would be kind of cool. You know, get it to feather in more of that. Yeah. You know, we're not going to take a chance. We're just going to take this and run with what we were going to do. All right, I took a little bit on the paint, just in the corners. And I'm going to want to leave a little bit of black in here because it always looks cool. Always looks cool. You know, you get a little bit of extra definition. For some reason I'm shaking today, so I don't know what's causing that. Normally I got a pretty steady hand, but I don't know what's going on today. Definitely see what happens with the rest of this. But so far, I think it's kind of looking like what I want it to. Kind of looks like my wave might be going a different direction though. I think we better put out just a few more clouds in here. It might have just stayed a little bit too. Oh, it's looking, that looks good, pretty cool because it's getting some of the tones back in there. Yep, you can definitely see where I have some of my liquid whites a little bit heavy, which I don't like, but I did one of Josh's tricks. I used a paper towel, but sometimes I just, you know, I don't want to not have enough on, so I kind of have a tendency to overdo still. A little bit tendency to overdo. A little bit. All right, I kind of like the way that's. You know, sometimes happy mistakes are just what you need, you know. Sometimes happy mistakes. And as a matter of fact, it's really trying to run right now. Which is not a good thing. Okay, I think I kind of lost a little bit of the red in there. Let's just see what happens if we put some red in here. What's going to happen if I put red in here? Guess what? We're going to find out. Well, it's not a bad thing, I guess, you know. Not a bad thing. bit? Oh yeah, hold it in there. Kind of like that, yep. All right, let's see if we can just put some sort of wave in here. I'm not sure exactly which kind of wave we're gonna put, but then I gotta have an idea. Let's see. Hey, Rhonda's Paintings, how you doing? Thank you for joining, I appreciate it. Oh, excuse me. Yes, this is. In my intro, I told them that it was Paint with Josh's theme, which as soon as I seen this was like beautiful. I love his one with his, the UK. That one was very pretty. So I'm kind of guessing on how he did it. I didn't get a chance to see the tutorial of this one. So I'm kind of guessing. So hopefully I do it a little bit of justice, but it definitely ain't like his, but boy, I sure, that's my goal in life, is to be as good as he is, or as good as like Bob Ross was, which would have been, you know, Mr. Bob Ross. I sat there and binge watched him for a long time to kind of get an idea of what I wanted to, before I even got really started with this, you know. So I appreciate you coming on. This is awesome. I see on your page that you got to meet a lot of the big Bob Ross bigwigs. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. All right, let's go in. Kind of, this is the shape so far, and then I'm gonna bring this wave up a little bit, like this, so he's, you know, a little bit. Lightly put in a little bit of character here, like they're kind of coming in a little bit. You know, they're just getting ready to, they're thinking about breaking. They're not breaking over yet, but they're thinking about it. This one over here, he's definitely going to be breaking. He's going to be chewed up and I think I got a little bit too close to the shore, but I think it kind of gives a little bit of, you know, kind of gives a little bit of. All right, now I definitely gotta pop this guy here because he kind of, all right, I'm gonna, It kind of gives a little bit of kick there. I got some black in there yet. I got this. Let's see if we can. We'll try to put in a little bit of foam. Boy, every time I put paint on my thing, look at how much paint I got on here. I don't need this much. All right, let's see if we can get some foam. I want to look like there's a little bit of foam in here. You know, kind of like take this down and soften these up a little bit. All right, you know what? I'm not unhappy with it, that's for sure. Definitely not unhappy with it. All right, let's clean this brush off. I'm going to get some pure white on here. I know the wave is not too bad. I mean, it's there. We all know it's a wave, so that might be okay. I got a little bit of what is. I hope I'm not going to get sued because I like painting with the inspiration paintings that I get. I hope somebody don't get mad at me and say, hey, guess what? That's my painting, you know. Because that's definitely not what my intentions are. All right, that kind of looks cool. I know I didn't do it justice from the painting that Josh does, but like I said, I've only been painting for probably 10 months now. I get a lot of my help from like painting with Josh and, you know, for inspiration pictures, because it's not like something you can just come out of your head all the time, you know. But I have been starting out where I literally sit down, have no plan whatsoever. I get the sky up and then that decides what I'm going to do. This one here was just an inspiration from the get-go. So yeah. See, I got to get some of I gotta get some more clouds in here and then I gotta get this signed and put laid down so it kind of keeps from running. right, sorry about that. My daughter's trying to call, and she probably hasn't checked her voicemail, or, excuse me, just her Facebook to see that I was on live, so that you'll hear that in the background. Sorry about that. It happens, right? Alright, so now I'm going to take a little fan brush, clean it off a little bit. You know what, I think I'm going to sign my name because I definitely have too much liquid clear on here. But I'm very happy with the way this turned out. Definitely happy with the way it turned out. Alright, now I'm going to have to clean this off again. I really thought this was going to take longer, but but of course me putting too much liquid clear kind of dampers everything. I'm going to hurry up and get my... Man, I didn't even vape hardly much today with this painting. That's kind of weird. I'm usually on here for like an hour and a half, Been kind of lucky. I was scared to try this one this morning because, I want to do it justice because it's such a cool painting and such a cool idea. And I'm definitely for veterans and America and all that. So, some of my paintings, you can go back and see some of them that are on my page. I got some American flags on them. And I had a senator that purchased 2 of them, and then I donated it was for veterans. That's in my the best of 2022 reel. That was a big day for me. I was pretty excited and pumped up. Matter of fact, I think he was probably my first one that bought a painting. Then I did a few other paintings. I got a buddy that he purchased 5 of them. He's got 5. Tia, good friend of mine, more like family. She purchased 3. So yeah, it's been, last year was a good year, and I'm hoping that this year's, kind of sets the pace for being a good one, which I'm sure it will. As long as I'm live and breathing, we'll be good. All right, I think I'm done. Get the stars off the water here. That won't be too good. I think I might put a little bit more white in the up in here a little bit to break up this red. I don't know if it was really necessary, but you know how painters are, sometimes they just can't make up their mind. It's like, hey, wait a minute, this ain't right, this don't look right, But I think overall, makes me happy. Thank you, Paint with Josh, for the idea. I love this. This is so much fun. Thanks everybody, and hopefully when my daughter gets the reel started, that we can get it up from start to finish. And this was fun. Love y'all. Have a good one.